We are running around trying to bring you all the best highlights. Reach for those highest heights as we show you the wins and maybe even a few surprises. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. We have a busy show, not quite like the last one, which went
certainly
overtime,
not. Yes,
actually.
It did. It needed extra time to finish, but it was worth it. There was a lot of great content. We have a lot of great stuff to talk about tonight, but now obviously everybody in contest, back in school, which is super exciting.
Absolutely.
Knock on wood that everything will continue to progress as normal throughout the 21-22 school year. Everybody's able to stay healthy and safe and in school and in person and keep crowds in the stands. It's a lot of fun to be back at, obviously we were on the road with the football team last week, but a fantastic crowd at Buffalo.
Actually, that was a lot of fun to see that kind of crowd come out. And obviously everybody's trying to take precautions, making sure that they stay safe. And I know the high school is, the high schools are making sure that everybody is, for the most part, staying safe. But there was a lot of people across the way from the
and a good traveling Cardinal Nation too. I was very excited to see how well Cardinal Nation traveled, and excited to keep the train rolling as we move through the rest of the fall season. A lot to talk about. We'll start with that football team after dropping the season opener on the road in Brainerd. Cardinals were really excited to get on their new turf for the first time. Having Cardinal Nations back was a big, obviously very exciting thing. As they hosted the St. Francis squad playing in its first game of the year. And the fans would not be disappointed, as this one was tight from start to finish. Cardinals stormed onto the field, fired up and ready to represent in front of the home crowd, but it's St. Francis that gets the offense going early. Jackson Skogquist with the look long down the right sideline. Great adjustment by Isaac Vincent for the catch. Turns upfield, gets a 28-yard pickup into Cardinal territory. That leads to the first score of the game. A 39-yard field goal by Wes Johnson gets the Saints on the board late in the first quarter. Saints marching again in the second. Skogquist throws right to Jack Hawkinson. Hawk able to get a nice return after the pick, and that fires up the home sidelines. Just 3 plays later, Josh DuBois going long down the sideline, drops it right in the pocket for Guy John Cummings-Coleman. A 47-yard gain gets the Cardinals deep into Saints territory. Just David Giebly forcing his way in from the 2-yard line, and the Cardinals take their first lead of the season at 7-3. Final seconds of the half, Skogquist throws complete to Vincent. He pitches it to Devin Fisher, and Fisher takes it down the sidelines for the score. Trick play catches the Cardinals off guard, gives St. Francis a 10-7 lead at the half. Same score late in the third. Skogquist rolls left. This pass is going to be tipped. Sean Sullivan able to come up with the second interception of the game for the Cardinal defense, and they capitalize on the turnover again. Giebly running left and showing off the speed. He races 67 yards untouched. Giebly finished with 14 carries for 142 yards and 2 scores. This one put the Cards up 13-10 late in the third. Hold on from there. Giebly getting nearly half his carries in the final drive as the Cardinals run out the final almost 6 minutes to secure the win. It's great to see Cardinals Nation celebrate on the new field. First time fans have been able to storm the field in almost 2 years.
It was great to see, quite obviously, and I thought the defense played well. Defense was opportunistic at a couple of times with those couple of interceptions. David Giebly, he's very good.
He's very good.
He's really good.
He is. He's fun to watch. But yeah, it was exciting, and it was so much fun to watch the fans at the end storm the field, knowing that the last time they did that at Cardinal Stadium was in the section tournament before they went on to the state in 2019.
And how beautiful is that new field? It is amazing. Hey, guess what? I get a football read.
There you go.
It happens maybe once a year.
Well, maybe two. We might get to it twice. It all depends on how the playoff schedule shakes out.
Well, on Friday, the Cardinals were back on the road to face new conference rival Buffalo. The Bison lost to Monticello in their season opener, but they would have a huge home crowd cheering them on. The Cardinals would have their hands full trying to deal with an explosive offense and a very stingy defense. Buffalo starts the scoring on its second possession. Evan Sofker on the keeper, gets a key block and sprints 20 yards to the end zone. He had a nice night. But the Cardinals defense, they're going to come up big late in the first. Podubny coming up here with the strip, and Hawkinson with the recovery. The Cardinals take over at the Bison 24. Very next play, Du Bois looks for Kajon Cummings. Coleman streaking wide open. TV strike evens the score at 7. Nice run there. After the defense held Buffalo to 3 and out, Cardinals start from their own 35, but Carter Jackson jumps the passing lane. He's off to the races, and he puts the Bison right back in front, 14-7. He is a very good player. It was fun to watch. Doesn't last long, though. Ensuing kickoff, Mac Waltz bobbles it at the 10, but able to scoop it up. He gets behind his blockers. He gets to the sideline. He has an escort all the way to the paint. A 90-yard return, and the game is all even at 14 after the first. Buffalo able to retake the lead late in the second. Coming up here, there we go. Selfker hitting Jace Janke on the slant. He splits the secondary for a 21-yard touchdown. Home squad in front, 21-14. Cardinals trying to answer before the half. Du Bois has time and fires long over the middle. Another big connection with Cummings-Coleman. This one good for 28 yards deep into Buffalo territory. Next play, Du Bois airing it out again, looking for Dominic Ullman in the end zone, but Carter comes up with his second interception of the game. Bison lead at 7 at the half. Same score until early in the fourth. Danny Phillips breaking through a 10-yard score to give his team final little cushion in the final frame. Phillips finished with 161 yards rushing. Bison get a little more insurance late in the fourth. This time, it's Trenton Radloff finding a seam, outracing the Cardinals for a 26-yard score. That put Buffalo up by 3 scores, just 2.5 minutes left. Cardinals got one back late to make it a little more respectable. David Jeebley on a swing pass, breaking tackles, going 43 yards to the end zone. But the game, unfortunately, was already out of reach. The Cardinals are going to fall to 1-2 with a 35-20 loss.
Yeah, and some good things they can take away. We talk about David Jeebley over and over and over again. Kajon Cummings-Coleman, definitely a deep threat.
He's a good athlete.
Josh Du Bois, still a young quarterback,
Yep.
just a sophomore. You can't expect him to come in and be perfectly running the offense,
Right.
but he is definitely progressing. And it's good to see. We saw in the game against St. Francis, getting in a rhythm a little bit with Jared Fearing, who's also just a sophomore, and then to see Kajon give him that deep threat. That defenses, as we get deeper into the season, they see that they're going to have to respect that. That might help open up some room for the running game and the underneath passes. And the defense, I think, has played really solidly both of the last 2 weeks.
They really have. And anytime you have young players at those skill positions, it's going to take them a little time
Yes.
to develop and to kind of build that chemistry. But I think they'll get there because they've got some very good athletes, and this is a good coaching staff, and they'll get them turned around. They've got a tough one coming up on the road.
Very tough, and unfortunately, we will not be there at Elk River on Friday. They're actually playing at the Zimmerman High School because Elk River's field is not ready. The AD at Elk River not comfortable with having a TV crew there since it is an alternate facility. Fans of CTN, you're more than welcome to watch us. We will be over at Blaine for the Blaine Champlin Park game. Looking forward to that one, but would rather be at Elk River watching our Cardinals. But
no question,
that's not in the cards. So we will see them again when they return home to take on Rogers next Friday. Tennis team, we talked about it in the preview show. They were so busy. This is their 13th match of the season.
Amazing.
Was on September the 2nd. Maple Grove is a perennial power. They lost 6-1. Brooklyn Nienaber got the one victory for the Cardinals at fourth singles. All the doubles teams lost in straight sets, but kept them very close in those straight sets losses. Well, the Cardinals finally had a week off after that crazy fast start, so they were ready to get back to business on Thursday when they traveled to Anoka. Tornadoes would be a good test for this young Cardinals squad. Two teams battling for position in the middle of the conference, and this one would go down to the final match. Anoka got out to the lead early. Gabby Newton, just a freshman playing first singles, and she's showing a ton of potential, but she comes up short against Anoka, losing in straight sets, 2-6, 1-6. Tornadoes get another relatively quick win down at third singles. Mary Olson in the near court for the Cardinals. Great drop shot right there, but Olson loses 3-6, 1-6. Cardinals able to win the next point at third doubles. Grace Graham and Caitlin Caminiti beating the Anoka duo 6-4, 7-5. Abby Ness got a great start for Coon Rapids at second singles, taking the first set 6-3. Her Anoka opponent, however, was able to come back to win 6-0, 6-2. That meant the Cardinals needed to win the last three spots. First doubles team of Kelsey Goldman and Emily Nicholas step up and get a win, 7-6, 7-5. Cardinals captains leading the way they should. The last two went to three sets. Brooklyn Nienaber pulled out a big win at fourth singles. After losing the first set 4-6, Nienaber came back to win 6-4, 7-5. So it all came down to the other Cardinal captains, Zoe Scheck and Lily Newton at second doubles. After losing the first set 1-6, Scheck and Newton won 6-4 in the second, but Anoka wins the third set, tiebreaker 7-5, hands the Cardinals a tough 4-3 loss.
We always talk about 4-3 wins or losses depending on which way it goes, but to lose that one in a tiebreaker makes it even a little more difficult to swallow. So, but they're young and they've got. I mean, you look at the top spot, I mean, just a ninth grader. They've got some opportunity to grow and learn and develop.
And they also have a relatively sizable senior class too. So they will be young for the next couple of seasons.
They are definitely.
I know when we went and watched against Andover, I was very impressed with Gabby. Just with the way she plays, she has all the different parts to her game. She moves her feet really well. Her backhand is really impressive. Strong serve, good forehand. But the determination was what got me. She lost that first set like 6-0, 6-1, something like that. Came back and was up 4-0 in the second set.
Yeah,
so,
she really did fight back well.
Seeing that type of determination is fantastic. And she's definitely got skill. You can see why Coach Stork has faith in her to play at that top spot.
Well, and especially for a young player like that, to lose that first set, like we go back to what the match we saw, to lose that first set the way she did and to come back and take advantage of it, it was just great to see.
Well, the Cardinals played in an individual tournament up in Brainerd or Bemidji over the weekend. So they finished fourth place as a team. Gabby Newton was sixth place in first singles. Fourth place finishes for Abby Ness at second singles, Mary Olson at third singles, and the team of Goldman Nicholas at fourth singles. Jennifer Carlson split time with Brooklyn Nienaber at the fourth singles spot and finished 1-1, took sixth place there. Scheck and Newton finished fifth place in the second doubles. The third doubles, they rotated three girls through all four of those matches, and I believe they finished fifth or sixth place as well. So Coach Stork was his email about that was very positive.
Yes, it was.
He felt very good about a fourth place finish for his team, and just the way they're playing even in losses has been very encouraging. They are at Rogers on Tuesday and at Blaine on Friday. Volleyball team has been off to a busy start. They played against Chisago, still looking for their first win, and they went to 5-set with the Wildcats in a wild one with the Wildcats. Cardinals win 25-22, but then lose 25-14, 25-19. Come back to win in the fourth, 25-22, to force the fifth and deciding set. 15-11 the win for Chisago in that one. Michaela Wilbur leading with 15 kills in the match, also had 8 digs. Seda Green had 23 assists. Bella Bresnahan, 9 kills, 5 digs. A couple of kills, couple of digs for Califoot, and Fowler had 6 digs, 3 kills, and 2 assists.
Well, the schedule got even tougher for the Cardinals last week when they traveled to take on undefeated Irondale. The Knights, well, they had won each of their first 2 matches in straight sets and had not given up 20 points in a single set. It would be a chance for the Cardinals to see how they match up against one of the best around. Knights jumped out to an early lead in the first set, but the Cardinals weren't about to back down. Great job picking up the attack here and setting it up for Michaela Wilbur. She gets the kill and keeps the Cardinals in it. But the Knights have all the weapons, both offensive and defensive. Wilbur on the attack again, this time stuffed by Ray Amandel. Irondale takes the first set, 25-18. A similar story in the second. Cardinals down early and just tried to keep pace with the mighty Knights. Quick set for Madison Fowler in the middle. Gets the Cardinals a point. The only lead of the night came at 1-0 in the second set. More big defense from Irondale late in the second set. Cardinals set Wilbur up on the left side. This time it's Peyton Howey shutting the door. Knights taking a 2-0 lead with a 25-17 win in the second. Third set seems to be the best for the Knights so far this season, and it continued against the Cards. They scramble a bit here, but Howey gets the kill from midcourt. Irondale rolls to a 25-8 win in the third.
Yeah, that Irondale team is
you
pretty
were there.
impressive.
Yes.
They have a number of weapons. They came at you from all parts. They're very clean in their receives and their passes and their sets. They run some deceptive things with a number of different attackers. But most impressive was how they finish. Kept the Cardinals at 8 points, and at that point was just their third match of the year, but they had not given up more than 10 points in a third set. They were in a tournament over the weekend. They are now, I think, 8-0.
It's pretty impressive.
Without losing a single set.
That's amazing.
So yeah, they're a pretty good team. So it's not a loss where the Cardinals should hang their heads by any means. Another tough one for the Cardinals on Thursday last week against the Blaine Bengals. Another straight set loss for the Cardinals. They lost 25-10. 25-15 and 25-15, and just very limited in their offense. As you see, 4 kills for Wilbur, 3 for Bresnahan, just 1 for Tatum Shevchuk, 1 for Seda Green, and a couple for Madison Fowler, and a Blaine team that got off to a quick start and then just kept the Cardinals in check all night long. They will be at St. Francis. They're actually at St. Francis tonight, and then they will host Centennial on Wednesday. Hope to have a camera there so that we'll have video of that for you next week on Sportsnight.
Yeah, I think we see them next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday,
yep,
yes, sir.
We will see them again.
Yes, sir. So the swimming and diving team got their first dual meet of the season, and when you look at a schedule and you put pretty much the best team in your conference on as your first opponent, you just want to look for the positives. Well, here's a positive. Ella Hacker took first place in both the 200 IM and the 100 fly. Claire Hartong was second off the board. Emma Schmidt second in the 100 back, and third place in the 200 free. Laura McCarr was third place in the 50 free. And again, this is a swimming and diving team that lost a huge senior class,
oh my gosh,
including Megan Schultz, who holds every swimming record
in
school history. But the group that's left behind, the group that has been her supporting cast for the last 2 or 3 seasons, really coming into their own.
Yep.
And they are doing some very good things. Coach Donaldson raving in his weekly email about, even in losses, how well they are swimming. Another big challenge for the Cardinals last week when they welcomed a strong Armstrong squad to Northdale. Cardinals are young, but they are showing improvements in their skills, their maturity, and most importantly, their times. This was another chance to test themselves against a conference contender. Ella Hacker has been a leader for the squad for the last couple of seasons. She's really coming into her own, as I just mentioned, as a senior. Competing in the 200 individual medley, she's all alone in second place, less than a second off the winning pace. Cardinal divers looking strong to start the year. 7th grader Delilah Smith-Jeanette leading the way against the Falcons. Takes first place with a 165.10. Coon Rapids goes 1-2-4 off the board. Emma Schmidt, another senior that keeps getting stronger, and she has a great race in the 100 butterfly, getting to the wall in second place in a time of 1:11.38. Hacker with a strong showing in all of her events. She shines again in the 100 backstroke, grabbing the Cardinals a first place finish in 1 minute, 6.58 seconds. Cardinals lose 103-78, but take a lot of positives, as I mentioned. little bit of a broken record, but take a lot of positives from the match.
Well, I always look forward to Coach Donaldson's emails because, you can hear the excitement in his writing, obviously. And, he is talking about those positives they take. Even though they're not getting the W's, they are doing better as far as time goes. And I think some of those positives hopefully will bode well for them as the season continues.
Yeah, and one of the things he said this week was he's very happy with the way they are swimming, the mastery of the strokes, the technique, the race technique, and that is what really helps you trim those times as quickly as possible. On Saturday, they were down in Bloomington for the Eagle Invite. Ella Hacker, a first place finish in the 200 free and a second place finish in the 100 fly. Emma Schmidt was fourth in the 200 IM. Laura McCarr, sixth in the 100 free, seventh in the 50 free, and some good finishes in the freestyle relays as well. Third place in the 200 free relay, third place in the 400 free relay. They will host Blaine on Tuesday, and then they will be down at the University of Minnesota for a tournament on Saturday. And that one will really expose them to what it's like to be in a very large event against some very high quality teams.
And that's a great place to swim and have a meet there because it's such a beautiful facility.
Boys cross-country teams, both boys and girls, have had a couple of meets since last we sat on the desk. It started with the Anoka Early Bird Invitational on Thursday the 2nd. Boys finished 5th place in that event. Top finisher Peyton Martinick in 7th place. Aaron Casey was in 16th place with a time of 18 minutes, 22.6 seconds. Norquist not far behind in 9th place. Joey Dunn, 28th. And Burnett finished in 35th place. For the girls, also a 5th place finish. Lila Gilliard, team captain, leads the way in a 14th place finish in 22:08.5 seconds. Bowen was in 23rd, Demmer in 27th, with Legree right behind her in 28th, and McKenzie finished 31st in 25 minutes 14 seconds. Then last Friday, they were in Cambridge for a tournament. They finished right in the middle of the pack. 4th place did the boys, with a top finisher going to Aaron Casey. Peyton Martinick in 19th, Joey Dunn 22nd. Nordquist was in 26th, and Burnett was in 30th. On the girls' side, also a 4th place finish, but only had 3 runners in the varsity race, so did not have enough for a team score. Burnt was 20th place, Fuller 21st, and Julie Hedlund was in 23rd place. For the swimming and diving, or the cross-country teams, rather, a couple of really big events coming up over the next couple of weeks. The Applejack Invite is this Friday, and then the Malacca Mega Meet is next Saturday. Malacca Mega Meet is the largest cross-country race in the country, high school cross-country meet in the country. Now, last year they broke it down because of COVID. I assume, I don't know for sure, that this year will be at least close to what normal is.
Let's hope so.
And I did read on his website in the blog, Coach Green talking about these 2 meets in particular, as large as they are, really giving the kids, especially the younger ones, the girls team in particular is very young, giving them an opportunity to run in those big events and see what it's like when you're out there with a bigger crowd, and kind of how you handle that and get through the traffic and try and keep pace with those groups that get you up front.
Well, you get to participate against some of the best runners around, so that's phenomenal as well.
Boys soccer team picked up a big win against Armstrong on September the 2nd, beating the Falcons 2-0. Yukin Harmon and Hussein. Hussein had the goals for the Cardinals. Ali and Stevenson had the assists, a shutout, and that improves their record to 2-1.
Well, just one game for the boys last week, hosting the Anoka Tornadoes on Thursday. After a full week off, the Cardinals were excited to get back to action against a bitter conference rival. Their Tornadoes were still looking for their first win, and the Cardinals weren't about to let that happen at their house. Coon Rapids bringing the pressure early on. Great cross out front. Abdullah Mandua doesn't get much on the shot, but it's off the post. The keeper's able to keep it in front of the line. But the pressure pays off midway through the first. Throw in the corner, Yukon Harmon able to outrace a couple of Tornadoes and sets up Jackson Young for the tap-in goal. The freshman's first career varsity goal gives the Cardinals the 1-0 lead. But the Tornadoes, they storm right back. Just 5 minutes later, great shot from a long way out by Cameron Burrell. No chance for Rising to get to it, and it's 1-1 with 15 minutes to play in the half. Anoka took the momentum, and they nearly take the lead, but Luke Rising with an amazing save in the final minute of the half. We go to the break tied at 1. Harmon ties it early in the second, weaving his way through the entire Anoka squad, then putting it back across to the far side. Phenomenal speed, phenomenal skill, and a phenomenal goal. Cards coming up with a free kick from midfield. Ben Kish with great boot, but Harmon knocked over before he can play. That means a penalty kick. UConn leaves no doubt on the PK, then puts the Cardinals up 3-1 still early in the second. Anoka scored about 7 minutes left, but the Cards hold on for the 3-2 win.
It was fun to see.
They're having a nice season.
Yukon Harmon is a really impressive player. And he draws a lot of attention and knows how to dish. Jackson Young is the son of former football coach John Young. So it's fun to see him get his first goal. I'll talk to John a little bit about it at halftime. But yeah, they played very, very well, able to hold on. Good action. Great to see them having some success, especially on that home field.
You bet.
They host Blaine on Tuesday, and Howie,
we'll be there.
They host Totino Grace on Saturday, and Howie, we will
not be there.
Girls soccer team is definitely the story of the early going in the season. They are absolutely rolling. A 3-0 win over Armstrong on September the 2nd. Goals go to Stevenson, Rao, and Kepke on a PK. Molly Terabeza had the lone assists. Well, on Tuesday, they actually started a game in Cambridge. They were up 3-0, and lightning struck with 2.5 minutes left. They had to cancel, postpone the game.
Crazy.
They're going to have to restart.
That's crazy.
Even though they were up 3-0, only 2.5 minutes. You get into the halftime, and it happens, and it would have been a full game.
Too bad.
But that's going to be a busy schedule down the road. Well, after 4 road games to start the season, Lady Cardinals finally got a chance to play on their new field when they hosted Anoka last Thursday. Tornadoes came in still looking for their first win, while the Cardinals hadn't given up a goal since the first half of the opener against 4th-ranked Centennial. They were clearly on a roll, and they weren't going to let a crosstown rival slow them down. Cardinals controlling the action early. Corner kick by Molly Knobloch. Lucy Wynn with a good header, but it's just wide of the net. Late in the first, great through ball into the box. Bailey Rao racing in. The keeper crashes into her. That draws a foul. Gives the Cardinals a PK. Anna Kepke makes it look easy, giving the Cardinals a 1-0 lead with 6.5 minutes to play in the first. Just about 3 minutes later, Knobloch with a free kick. Kepke in perfect position puts the header into the corner. No chance for the keeper. Cardinals have a 2-0 lead at the half. More pressure in the second. Knobloch crossing it out front. Belinda Griffith is there, but gets under it just a bit. Sends it over the net and out of play. Defense is the Cardinals' calling card this season, making it difficult to get good looks at their net. Not a lot on this shot. Pretty easy play for Maddie Reinhardt. Unbelievable action in the final seconds. Check this out. Tornadoes hit the crossbar 3 times in a row. First on the long kick, then a header, then another kick, and finally Reinhardt able to get a handle on it, securing another shutout for the Cardinals. They get their 3rd straight win, 2-0. They were up in Bemidji on Saturday and played to a 0-0 draw. That means in 4.5 games that counted, we're not counting the half they played where they shut out Cambridge. In 4.5 games that counted, not a single goal. Reinhardt,
that's amazing.
I believe, came in at halftime of the Centennial game, has not given up a goal yet. This is the coolest thing. Today, no Cardinal team has lost at Cardinal Stadium since they put the turf in.
Hey, it's a streak. We got to keep it going.
I mean, yeah, it's 2-0 for the boys, 1-0 for the girls, 1-0 for the football team. But right now, Cardinals undefeated on the new turf at Cardinal Stadium.
2 soccer games
We'll
tomorrow.
see if we can keep it going. Blaine Bengals trying to ruin both those streaks And we will be there live at 5 and 7, swimming and diving next Tuesday. Or swimming and diving also on web stream Tuesday. Then we'll do the prep football game, Blaine against Shample Park. And we'll see the football team when they come back to the stadium to face Rogers a week from.
Yep, right. Looking forward to that.
But that's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.